ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्।
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्य कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் வாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வாரேரம் ஓமளவும் வாழ்வு.
So we come to the last word in the Gadyam, Sukham Asita, the previous paragraph, Sukham Asita. So who is to stay with pleasure? Who is to stay comfortably? Lord. So never think of our selfish motive. We are not interested in our happiness. We are interested in His happiness. And therefore, that is the word Sukham Asita. That we meant as His happiness. Is He comfortable? We are to worry about. We are to worry about His comforts. So yoga has another aspect. Yoga has another aspect. So yoga is to be clearly understood and elaborately understood by the three prose works of Sri Ramanujacharya. So that is why the bold letter in this paragraph gives you the title Yoge Gadyatrayasya Pratyekam Upayoga Visheshaha. Again, our mind jumps into whose usage? Upayogaha, Upayoga Visheshaha, extraordinary usage. Whose usage? Is it mine, M-I-N-E, M-I-N-E, my, M-Y? That is ahankara and mamakara are instilled in our hearts very deeply in the subconscious mind that we don't forget it easily. So, is there any upayoga of this Gadyatraya for the Lord? There's no necessity. There's no necessity. Because He is called in Sanskrit Avapta Samasta Kamaha. This term, all of us must be familiar with this. Namely, in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, while we refer to Lord Sriman Narayana, we have this quality, Avapta Samasta Kamaha. no desire of his is unfulfilled. Therefore, is there any Upayoga Vishesha for the Lord? Practically no. But theoretically, we may expect some prayojanam. That is, prayoga vishesha is actually process, not prayojana vishesha. Upayoga vishesha. Upayoga, yoga has got upayoga. There is an assistant for yoga. Yoga is a master and upayoga is a servant. So upayoga is usage. The prayojanam, otherwise called the prayojanam. Even in the word prayojanam, pra is there. It's what we call excellent usage. What is excellent usage? What is the most excellent usage is Lord's happiness. Lord's what we call pleasure. So Gadyatrayasya Pratyekam Upayoga Vishesha. So in these three prose works, of course, one is very small with just 1.25 A4 size page. 1.25. The other two are equally in quantity and also quality. So 5 pages, about 5 full-scale pages. 5 A4 size pages. So among these three, is there any separate Upayoga Vishesha usage, special usage of each one of the three, or something is different from each other? Let us understand this. Apicha, moreover, the first letter, first word. Apicha, moreover, atra here, that is in this context, that is while understanding what yoga is, so dvaya vyakhyana rupe gadyatriye. The entire triad, Triad, triad of the prose works of Sri Ramanujacharya talks about dvaya mantra. So let us not conclude, let us not dismiss the other two also. What we call Ashtakshara and Charmasloka. Both are there, but more importance is given to dvaya. And even in one of the Gadyas, you get the Charmasloka itself. Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Bhaja. Krishnavatara Charmasloka is there already. And also the Charmasloka of Ramavatara, namely Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Jayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Dadamyetat Vratam Mama. Both are almost the same. Small difference is the only incarnation. The personalities who surrendered are different, and we are the personalities to surrender. So, Dvaya Vyakhyana Rupe Gadyatre. Suppose you pinpoint and select a portion of these Gadya, three prose works, and then pinpoint the place where Dvaya is explained, Dvaya Vyakhyana Rupe. So, in the Gadya, in the one of the Gadyas again, Sharanagati, you have Dvaya mentioned, Atra Dvayam. Atra Dvayam. There are two words, Atra Dvayam. So, in order that we must get advised by a preceptor and then only understand the Dvayam, there is no mention of the entire Dvayam, two sentences. Shriman Narayana Charano Sharanam Prapadye, Srimate Narayanaya Namaha. Even the very utterance is prohibited while you did not so far get the advice from the preceptor. You are not supposed to recite it. So, even in the case of books like Itihasa, like Ramayana, you must be initiated. All of us must be initiated. All of us should approach the preceptor. All of us cannot suddenly reach God, try to approach God and say, I am doing Swanishtha. The previous lesson, we had Swanishtha. Swanishtha is you discipline yourself and you approach God directly without the help of the preceptor. Therefore, so you must have a preceptor. Why? Why should we have a preceptor? Again, we have to go to the scriptures. So Acharyavan Veda, there is a sentence, there are just two words. So Acharyavan Veda. So anybody who has a preceptor will understand clearly the scriptures. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, not. Definitely not. Of course, we have wrong preceptors also. We have bad preceptors also. So let us select preceptors. Let us choose preceptors. Again, underline the qualification called adhikaraha. He is a qualified preceptor. Adhikaraha, adhikari meaning a qualified preceptor. He must know the scriptures. He must have understood the scriptures. He must be able to put across the ideas of scriptures. He must not mince matters. He must not interpret in his own way. So they have guide called Sayana Bhashyam, a commentary on scriptures. Sayana Bhashyam. Of course, the Sayana Bhashya, the source is very interesting. Let us learn it later. Therefore, all of us have to follow Sayana Bhashyam to understand scripture. Again, to understand Sayana Bhashyam, we have to go through all the preceptors of our clan, our race, our sampradaya, our tradition, our family, and so on. Then only we can get the ideas confirmed whether all the preceptors are right. So we are not going to test the preceptors, but we are going to analyze and compare the preceptors' words so that are they in common? Are they relevant to each other? Do they agree with each other? These are all some questions which we must discuss in the Shastras so that we understand very clearly. So what will be the result? I shed my worries. I shake off my troubles. What is called Nirvedaha. Unfortunately, I have not studied scriptures. I have not studied the full scriptures. I have studied only 1/millionth portion of a scripture. Even that is not true. Say 1/trillionth of the scripture. Okay, let us agree that we have studied 1/trillionth of the scripture. Again, the availability of the scripture is only 1/9th. 1/9th portion is only available today. Then the rest of 8 portions, 8 parts are missing, are not available in the book form. It may be in the oral tradition, but we don't have that. Unfortunately, or even fortunately, even this 1/9th part, 1/9th part, we are not able to assimilate. We are not able to understand. So, Ananta Vai Vedaha, there is an expression in Sanskrit, in scripture. The scriptures are endless. Therefore, we cannot fix the portion. You cannot do selective study. We are doing actually selective study for the sake of examination, not for the sake of examination, because of this interest. Today, TRL Narasimhan Swami from Chennai asked me for the link. That is the interest that we must evince in understanding the scriptures. And that is why we read Pancaratra Raksa. And that is why we have to go through the original called Pancaratra Samhita, Pancaratra Shastram, the very Pancaratra Shastram. Why should we read again Pancaratra Shastram? Why should we preserve Pancaratra Shastram? We must know how to do Thiruvaradhanam at home and at the temple. It is more related to the temple than the house. But almost all of them are same. So what is the result? I am not worried. I am not worried. I have no cares. CARES. I have no cares. Nirvedaha. Nirvedaha is care. So Nirveda Bhuyastaya. So we are all worried, completely worried. We have apprehensions. We have fears of our future. We consult astrologers for our future benefits. So nirveda bhuyahata. We are totally what you call dejected. And what are we to do? Kaikarya tvara atishayat. I must supersede. Otherwise, I must what you call surpass. I must overtake my neighbor, my friend, my relative, and so on, in what we call doing service. Kaikarya. So I must hurry up in doing service. My friend is going to the temple by 6:30. I must go by 6 o'clock. So my attitude, my interest, my keen interest should make me fast in my action, in doing service. Kaikarya tvara atishayat. I must excel everyone else. That should be my aim. It is not a comparing and competing. It's not comparing and competing. The point is I must excel others. I must overlook others. Prabhadike abhigaman. So we have been talking so far for the past few sessions, yoga and swadhyaya in the evening time. That's what we were discussing so far. So now we are going back to the day beginning. When the day starts, our morning starts, then what are we to do? Prabhadike abhigaman. In the early morning, so we are doing what you call abhigamanam. So second time we do abhigamanam in the evening. Because we close the sannidhi and we request the Lord to go to sleep. So paryankasanam samarpayami, we say finally. At the end of the Tiruvaradhanam, we say paryankasanam samarpayami. You provide the bed for him and imagine and visualize that he goes to slumber. Yeah, of course, he is not ready to take rest. So he is back with the gusto in the evening. So Abhigamanam is there. You approach him in the evening, light a lamp, Tiruvulakku etri, light a lamp, auspicious lamp, light an auspicious lamp in the evening, and then begin, restart our process. What are the other process? Abhigamanam, Swadhyaya, and Yoga. These three. So in the yoga, what are we do? Prabhatike in the morning, Abhigamane in the morning approach, Mita Gadya Anusandhanam Uchitam. Don't be elaborate and try to repeat all the three Gadyas. So take the little one. Sriranga Gadyam is easy to recite for just less than 5 minutes. Less than, say, 10 minutes if at all you are slow. So, Mita Gadyanusandhanam Uchitam. So, Uchitam, it is proper that Anusandhanam is recitation, you can say, Dhyanam on the prose work, Mita Gadyam. So, what do we do? How do you do Mita Gadyam? Are we not to read 5 pages? Don't we have time to read 5 pages of Sri Vaikunta Gadyam and 5 pages of Sri Sharanagati Gadyam? Are we bored again every day? Are we feeling monotonous routine? So all this, avoid the negative feelings. And then what we do is, in our case, in our personal family tradition, what we do is, we recite Chatushloki of Sri Alavandar, Yamunacharya, otherwise called Yamunacharya in Sanskrit, Alavandar in Tamil. It's called four shlokas, Chatushloki. But it's not a shloka. It has got 19 syllables per line. So it should be Shabdola Vikriditam. It is not Chatushloka, but Chatushardhulam Kriditam. But 19 syllables per line. And 4. So before the 4 padyams, the stanzas, we have taniyans to recite. 3 taniyans to recite. So we have 3 on Yamunacharya. Namo Namo Yamunaya, that's the easiest one. Namo Namo Yamunaya, Yamunaya Namo Namah. Namo Namo Yamunaya, Yamunaya Namo Namah. So frequently prostrating before the Lord. So you have 3 taniyans. So after 3 taniyans and after these 4 padyams, what do we do is, there is one more added. It's called addendum in English dictionary. Addendum. What is that? Akaratraya sampannam aravinda nivasini ashesha jagadishitrim vande varda vallabham. Just 2-line shloka. It's a shloka. So again, Vedanta Deshika is reminded of his own titular deity of Kanchipuram, Varadaraja. He loves him most. Not that he loves less Srirangam Ranganatha, but he loves him most. He loves Varadaraja most. He is called Pranatartihara. And therefore, his name itself is very difficult to pronounce, and he loves that name also, Pranatartihara. In Nyasa Dashakam, in one of the 10 verses, the name called by Vedanta Deshika is, Swami Vedanta Deshika is Pranatartihara Prabho. Pranatartihara Prabho. Pranatanam Artim Harati. The Lord removes the troubles for those who surrender. That's the meaning. Pranatanam Artim Harati. Easily mispronounced, misspelt, and half spelt and half pronounced. Very, very difficult name. But that is the name for Sri Varadaraja of Kanchipuram. Kanchipuram lovers are what you call ardent lovers. They never give up the what you call the side of the Lord. They never belittle the Lord. They always glorify the Lord more than all other deities, including Sri Ranganatha. And therefore, what I want to say is Mita Gadyam. What do we do after these 2-line shlokas? Akara Traya Sampannam. We are interested in the food immediately next to recitation. And therefore we say Ahara Traya Sampannam. Not Akara Traya Sampannam. Akara Traya Sampannam is Pancaratra procedure. Ahara Traya Sampannam is our procedure. How many times should we eat? How many times should we eat? 3 times a day? So if a person eats once a day, is called yogi. 2 times a day, rogi, diseased man. 3 times a day, bogi. 2 times a day, bogi. 3 times a day, rogi. 3 times one, if one takes, he fills up his belly, and he is likely to become sick. And then if you take 4 times a day, called the drohi, you are a traitor to the society, because you deprive the society of food, because you are taking 4 times the food. So what do we do after these 2 slokas, two small sloka, 2 lines? So Akaratraya Sampannam. We take just one paragraph from Sri Sharanagati Gadyam and say that Bhagavan Narayana Abhimatanurupa Swarupa Rupa Guna Vibhavaishwarya Sheeladjanavadhikatishaya Kalyan Gunaganam Padmavanalayam Bhagavatim Shriyam Devim Nityanapayinim Niravadyam Devadeva Divyamakishim Akila Jaganmataram Asmanmataram Asharanya Sharanyam Ananya Sharanaha Sharanamaham Prapadye. Only one paragraph, not Munnadi Pinnadi. Munnadi Pinnadi meaning I must say Bhagavan Narayana and then Sukham Asita. Just now we saw the word Sukham Asita in the previous paragraph. So that is only Munnadi Pinnadi. So we take a full paragraph just before the exact words said by goddess Ranganayika in the Sri Sharanagati Gadya. Astute, Sarvam Sampatsate. Astute. These two sentences were given by Ranganayika. If I say Ranganayika, Ranganatha will come to compete with her, and therefore you can say both. Astute. The couple says Astute. Whatever Ramanujacharya wished for, let it come true. Astute. And Sarvam Sampatsate. All will be got. All will be attained. Don't worry. Ma Suchaha. That's the meaning. So everything will come to your wishes. So here, so this paragraph is called Mita Gadya. Mita Gadya, just a small one. We are hungry. We have to take food. The gentleman who performs Tirvaradhanam in my house is getting delayed. So what should we do? So now, Brihad Gadyam to Samaradhana Kal. Now, it is customary on the part of the people who do not eat. That is the host, H-O-S-T, host. There can be many hosts. In a family, there can be many hosts. And therefore, there will be many guests also. So when you give a feast to them, when you feed them, the people who are taking food is a small group or a big group, as you invite. And then at least a small group of devotees of the family will recite Gadyatraya. So Brihad Gadyam too. So these two. So one can take Sriranga Gadyam earlier for Mita Gadyam. And if at all you want to follow our family tradition, just one paragraph, what I said to you now. Bhagavan Narayana, starting with Bhagavan Narayana, Prapadye, just 4 lines. Or, so these two Gadyas, namely 5 pages each, Sri Sharanagati Gadyam and Sri Vaikunta Gadyam can be taken to recite while others take food. Those who do not take food will recite. It is not a question of all those who are going to take food, then they will recite the 2 Gadyas. Brihad Gadyam. Supposing you have if you have heard, supposing you have heard the Gadyam of Srinivasa in the Tirupati temple, we will run away. Because it's a long one. It's a long Gadyam, Srinivasa Gadyam. And I think somebody wrote Sri Padmavati Gadyam also. So Srinivasa Gadyam is a very long passage, which we are afraid to recite it at least before food. After food, we get sleep. So Samaradhanam is called giving feast, offering feast. Samaradhanam has got Brihad Gadyam, Raghuvira Gadyam. Okay, Deshika Sampradaya. Very good. Generally, if you want to have Raghuvira Gadyam is very good, very good as you suggested. For the Vadagalai people, it will be what we call a favorite. 91 prose lines. 91 prose lines. How many of us will take it up? So, Samaradhana Kal. Visheshataha, specially, Anusandeyanam. So, what are we to recite? It is not a mechanical recitation. It is not a mechanical recitation, I repeat. So, Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhuti, Devi, Bhushana, Ayuda, Parijana, Parichada, Dwara, Pala, Parshada, Adinam, Yathavata Anusandhana Hetata. While we recite the Gadyam, what are we to do? It is not by rote, R-O-T. It is not by memory only. We have to understand the meaning of it. Deeply understand the meaning, namely Swarupam, what is the original form? Rupam, what are the incarnations? Guna, what are the auspicious characteristics? Vibhuti, what are his properties? Devi, goddess of fortune. Bhujana, who are the ornaments? Whether the weapons are ornaments or ornaments are weapons? Then Parijana, who are the servants? Parichada, who are surrounding? Who are the doorkeepers, Dwarapala? Then Parshada. The Parshada is a retinue of Vishwaksena, the chief of army staff. So, Yathavat, as it is understood in original by the preceptors, we have to follow the preceptors' understanding, then Anusandhana Hetute. It is not simply simple recitation. It is by understanding the recitation while you say it, of course, fast. You must say it fast because nobody can have patience in listening to you again and again. I went to Salem on one occasion. Srivan Vijayaraghavan, Sri Uve Vijayaraghavan Swami invited me. He said, I must give lectures in 3 temples. The other two temples demanded me to explain Mukundamala. So there were about 40 shloka verses in Mukundamala. So in one temple I recited, I gave the meaning for first 20, and the second 20 was in another temple. Because we had to divide the time into 2 so that people will be impatient to listen. Then in the Kotai Perumal temple in Salem, I have to explain shortly, very briefly, Gadyatrayam. And unfortunately, I was late. Even when we tried to be punctual, I was very late. So what happened was, because my arrival was delayed, they thought I am not coming. Therefore, as a chief guest, therefore, they started reciting and they finished the 3 gadyams. Prose works. Then I arrived there in time after the recitation, one time of the 3 gadyams. Then when I arrived, they were shocked that I was late. And again they said, sir, you must recite. I showed my 2 fingers and said, this is the second round. This is the second round. So they all laughed for the joke only, and because it meant differently. I said second round. When I said second round, they laughed loudly. And then I started reciting again. They were so deep in devotion. They listened to me, pronouncing it perfectly as to be done by a Sanskrit teacher and so on. So it is not a Tamil Gadyam. It is not to be recited like a Tamil portion. So I could recite it with the correct pronunciation, and therefore they enjoyed listening second time to that. So when they enjoyed the second, the listening to Gadyam for the second time, in between, I interspersed with the meaning of it. I did not continue as it is in the Gadyam. I gave some meaning in between so that they will have some relaxation, and then they listen to the Sanskrit portion. Therefore, what I want to say is, the meaning must also be instilled in our heart. We enunciate the meaning into the heart. What are the ideas mentioned in the Gadyam? It is not simple recitation. Mechanical, what you call, rote memory. So, Yathavasthita Swarupa, Rupa, Guna, Vibhuti, Leela. Now one word is added more. Leela, sports of the Lord. Upakarana, what are the instruments to help him to sport in the world, in the two worlds, both Nitya Vibhuti and Leela Vibhuti. Of course, this world is meant for Leela, but still in Nitya Vibhuti also he is making a lot of sports. So he actually games with, I'm putting a different English term. He games with her, the goddess of fortune. Leela. Upakarana, the instruments. Vistaram, in detail. So let us understand the incarnations also. The what you call the wonderful happenings in the incarnations. You can remember certain incidents which created stir in your heart. I'll just give you one or two examples now. Anusandhaya. After making us feel that Lord Vishnu became an ordinary human being, he gave some wonderful incidents that revealed him as the Godhead, Almighty. For example, Jatayu was given beatitude, salvation by Lord Rama. Why? He is Lord Rama, it's not man Rama. Then he had many adventures in the forest, and then he gave succor to Shabari also, an old lady, Shabari also, and then he finished many demons at a stroke. 14,000 demons, 14,000 demons at within 1.5 hours. Within 1.5 hours. Ramayanam says, Srimad Ramayanam says. So, in the case of Guha, his friendship is colossal. His deep friendship as a brotherly, affectionate person is very rampant in Guha's case. A scheduled tribal was taken into his fold. Now, please remember the background of Guha. Guha, a chieftain of the hunters, tried to meet the Rama before his age 24. Rama's age 24. That is before he started for the forest. Many times he visited Ayodhya. How many of us know this? Guha visited Ayodhya and went to King Dasharatha's palace many times. Many a time. And then tried to meet Rama but could not succeed. And that was the fate of Guha. And later on, when Rama came to the forest, he made it a point that he wanted to make an atonement for the sin committed by Rama in not meeting Guha in Ayodhya. So whenever Rama was absent, he was in Ayodhya. That is, Rama went with Vishwamitra to Gautama's hermitage, to Mithila, and so on. So here, why is it? I'm talking about wonderful incidents where Rama is not an ordinary human being. So also Krishna I can understand very easily that he is almighty. He has got enormous powers, unlimited powers. But every time when he does it innocently, he was afraid of Yashoda. Swami Vedanta Deshika experiences the pleasure of how Lord Krishna feared his foster mother, Foster, foster mother, Yashoda. Parivartita Kandharam Bhayena. The martyr was tied to his hip somehow, because Lord allowed her to tie the martyr in his hip. But when he moved toward the two trees behind the house, what you call backyard, he turned his face again and again to look at the mother, to make her avoid her vision in seeing what he is going to do, the mischief, the prank. And that was the wonderful scene. Parivartita kandharam bhayena smita pulladhara pallavam smarami. Vedanta Deshika recalls to his mind that the smile, the teaching smile, pulladhara pallavam, his teeth are shown. He seems to simper. பல்லிழிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு. He wants to cheat Yashoda. He wants to distract Yashoda from following him very closely, because he is going to dash against the two trees in the backyard. So the mortar is very heavy, and the child cannot normally move in that age. He cannot move the mortar, but oral. But Krishna, as a small child, baby, tried to pull the mortar. That itself is a wonder. And he acts as though he is afraid of his own. Parivartita kandharam bhayena vita pulladhara pallavam smarami. Why does he do that? So, vitapitta nirasakam kayoschit vipulo lukhala karshakam kumaram. It's a big mortar, bigger than the baby's size. It's very heavy. Though wooden, it's very heavy. Made up of wood, but it is very heavy. Normally, even a grown-up man can pull off the mortar. But Saranasarangadyam, Vaikunthagadyam. Yeah, okay. Yeah, these are we are deferring to this. Now, why is this? So we must understand his Leela. Krishna Leela, Tarangini, is a very good book written by Narayana Tirthar, who came to Gunashilam temple, and then he was pushed to, he was taken to Varagur Venkatesha Perumal Kovil, the temple, where he wrote Venkatesha Stotram and also wrote Krishna Leela Tarangini. Every sport is enjoyed by him. Leela Shuka, an author of Krishna Karnamatam, enjoys with 300 verses, his own 300 verses, the imaginative sports of Krishna. And if you read Bhagavatam, 18,000 slokas, we don't get so much. We don't get so much. We have a little. But by imagination, even people who give discourses, they go exaggerating the sports of Lord Krishna. We must understand. Who are the instruments? Lilopakarana, Vistaram, Anusandaya. That is why I said it to you in small detail. Anusandaya, remember them. Tammeva Sharanam Upagati. So don't go to any other god except Lord Krishna. You say Lord Rama, Lord Varaha. Because all these three have got Charama slokas. So Sharanam Upagachete, Akhila Ityadina. What is that Akhila Ityadina? Akhila is the first word starting in Sri Bhashyam of the 542 Brahma Sutras of Veda Vyasa. And therefore, so Akhila Ityadina. So Akhila is the name of the first word. Akhila means all. So Ityadina with etc. Samaradhanasya Adau. So while you start feasting others, giving feast to others, then Antecha, at the end also, while they complete their food taking, Bhashyakarehi eva vinu. Do we have patience in listening, even listening to the three Gadyams, either in the beginning or in the end of our taking food? Even when we take food, today I have a company. Today I have a company to recite. Along with me, all stotras. I have what we call Google Assistant, AI gadget. AI, artificial intelligence gadget. I say Vishnu Sahasranamam, it says. So along with, so I have a company in the house to say to two people, Google Assistant and myself. Secondly, Alexa. So Alexa will say, Alexa, say Vishnu Sahasranamam. It starts. So I specifically say, who's Vishnu Sahasranamam? MS Subbalakshmi also. So I take the, of course, laptop. I take two or three mobiles at home. Totally we have 10 people reciting Vishnu Sahasranamam. I need not invite anyone else. So I have a group of 10. So laptop, desktop, mobiles, iPads, Samsung tablets, the artificial intelligence gadgets like Google Assistant and Alexa. Why I say this is we have a what you call satisfaction of joining a group, the pleasure of joining a group. So Samaradhana Adu Ante. So how many times should we recite Vishnu Sahasranama a day? A lady went to the preceptor, her preceptor, and asked her demand. My son, aged more than 30, he is not ready to marry. He is the only child for us. I want him to agree to the marriage. The preceptor advised. The preceptor, she was shocked. The preceptor advised, you say 3 times Vishnu Sahasranamam every day. 3 times Vishnu Sahasranamam every day. How to do it? Shall we do it? How long will we do it? How much will you follow the advice? The preceptor. So, the Bhashyakarihi eva viniyuktam. It has been distributed. Rather, Viniyogaha. We got the gift called, the food gift called, the food for thought called the Gadyatrayam from Bhashyakarihi, from Sri Ramanujacharya. So Sri Vaikuntha Gadyam says, Yamunarya Sudham Bodhim Avagakya Yathamati Adaya Bhakti Yogakyam Ratnam Sandarshayamyaham. Who is followed by Ramanujacharya? His previous preceptor called Yamunacharya. So Yamuna Arya, Alavandar. Arya, respectable man. Yamuna is a name. He is considered as Lord Krishna himself. Because Yamuna is the name of Lord Krishna. Why Krishna had a name called Yamuna? As you know, that he sported in what we call, had water sports in Yamuna Nadi. And therefore, who is Yamuna again? So Yamuna Nadi is the daughter of the sun god. And so on. So you now trace the source and then say, so Lord Krishna is called Yamunaha. And therefore Yamunacharya also, because he loved Krishna's divinity, Krishna's sports. So Yamuna is a name for the preceptor. Then what is his work? Sudha. It is Amritam. It is nectar. It is ambrosial liquid. So Amritam. So Sudha. So what kind of Sudha? Ambodhi. An ocean of Sudha. An ocean of nectar. It is not a drop of nectar. It is not a drop of honey. It is an ocean of honey. So what we call immortal liquid. Immortal liquid. The liquid which when drunk makes us immortal. Immortal in the sense, not just God in heaven, not just it's Nityaswari in the Vaikuntham, but a person who thinks of the Lord all the time. So Sudham Bodhi, Ambaha is normally water, but here it is full of nectar. Made up of nectar, the ocean made up of nectar, a sea of nectar. What should we do? Avagahya. Immerse yourself there. So that means immerse in the works of preceptor Yamunacharya. So yatha mati, according to your will, that is at least one work today, a part of one work today. There are so many works, Siddhitrayam, Gitartha Sangraha, so many. I think it is a limited number. I can, Kesavadas Swami can supply the with information. What are the Yamunacharya's works? But should we just recite or understand? We must recite and understand. So yathamati. So according to your time availability, you can take your own time and do it. Try to understand as much as possible. Adaya, taking. So Ramanujacharya took the essence of these works. Chatushloki, Gita, Sangra, Siddhi, Train. Only three? Okay. Only other five. Siddhi, Trayam. Okay. So Bhakti Yogakhyam Rattanam. So Ramanujacharya is giving us a jewel, Rattanam. Not giving us a jewel, shows the jewel. So this is the jewel. So you show the jewel thing to the devotee. So Sandarshayami Aham. I am just showing. Meaning, I am making you understand the gem-like words of Yamunacharya, Alavanda. What is that discipline called? Bhakti Yoga Akhyam. Akhyam named as Bhakti Yoga, discipline of devotion. How to be devoted towards the Lord. Iti Prarambhat, thus you begin. Paschadapi, even later, Dhyana Yogena Drishta. We must visualize in our heart the figure of the Lord, the Rupa, Swarupa of the Lord, Rupa of the Lord, Guna of the Lord, Leela of the Lord, Vibhuti of the Lord, and so on. Then Dhyana Yogena Drishtva iti Abhidhanat, because it is said Abhidhanat. Abhidhana means name. Because it is named here as we must see him in our heart. And Phala Rupa Vilakshana Anusandhana Bhedanam Vidhana. Atma Siddhi, Ishvara Siddhi, and Samvit Siddhi. Right. Samvit Siddhi, Samvit meaning knowledge, wisdom. Atma is, individual soul connected with the Supreme Soul. And so on. So here, Phala Rupa Vilakshana Anusandhana Bhedanam Vidhana. We are only interested in our fruits. What are the advantages that will accrue by recitation of these three Gadyas? Prose works. So, Phala Rupa Vilakshana. So, each one has got a different aim, goal to reach. So, that Anusandhana Bhedanam. Do we understand the difference between the aims among these three Gadyas? It is said there. It is said there. Let us not worry about it. It is said there already. Why the last two words, remember, Sukham Asita. Be happy. Be happy. In Sanskrit saying, Subhajitam, good say, it's called good saying, Subhajitam. It says, don't study books. Don't study anything. Not even for pleasure of reading. Not even for entertainment. Don't read. If you want to be happy, don't read. Sukharthi chet tyajeti vidyam. Give up your studies. School, college, university, Shastras, Shiva Granthas. No, study, no. Why? If you want to be happy. Sukharthi chet tyajeti vidya. It is Brahma Vidyava or 32 Vidyas that we are getting from the Shivashyam or anything else. No Vidya, no Saraswati. Let us not read. Let us watch TV, enjoy the life. Let us, what you call in Tamil, non-defy the mobile. Always probing into the mobile, the internet, the WhatsApp, whatever it is. So let us not study. Sukarthi chet tyajet vidyam. Suppose you want to study, vidyarthi chet tyajet sukham. Sacrifice your time, sacrifice your food, sacrifice your sleep, and then stay. Is it easy or difficult? It is difficult. And therefore, the second line says, Rubalism says, Sukartinah kuto vidya, vidyarchinah kuto sukham. Very beautiful statement, discouraging people from studies. Why this? Sanskrit is also practical. Sanskrit is not only theoretical, it is also practical philosophy like Sri Vaishnava philosophy. All other philosophies are impractical, I say, for sure. I say definitely, with a pat on the table. Why? We will see later. Avichinna sroto rupena avalokanena avalokayan. This is the expression from Gadyam. Therefore, let us not take away our vision from this. Undisturbed, avichinna, uninterrupted, uncut, UNCUT. Sroto rupena, as the river flows. Our thought flow should be continuous. Avalokanena, let us look at the Lord. You can look at the Lord behind me. I need not even hide from you the vision. Every day I put it in a, what you call, background screen. The Nam Perumal and the Periya Perumal. Sri Ranganatha and Sri Rangaraja. With both the concerts. Vedanta Deshika says, don't take away your eyes. At least in imagination. Vartate Savarodha, he says in 2 words in the 11th verse of Bhagavad Dhyana Sopan. Vartate Savarodha. Where does he reside along with his concerts? Mama Hirdaye, Mama Cha Hirdaye. Mama Cha Hirdaye. In also my heart. In my heart also he resides. Then where else he resides? In the temple. In the Sanctum Sanctorum. Sannidhau, and then Mama Cha Hirdaye Vartate Savarodha. I can recite the full verse. Kanto Daraihi Ayamiha Bhujaihi Kankana Jakinankai Lakshmi Dhamnaha Pruthula Parigaihi Lakshita Bhiti Heti. Observe the goddesses, the 2 goddesses. Lakshmi Dhamnaha Pruthula Parigai, because of the presence of Lakshmi on both sides, one Bhuma Devi and one Sri Devi, his shoulders are becoming bigger and bigger. Pruthula Parigaihi Lakshita. Then also look at the weapons here. In the hands of Nampermal, you see all the 5 weapons. Panchayudam. Heti Biti. Don't get afraid of looking at the weapons. Heti Biti. Agre Kinchit. Nampermal is just a little before in front of the Lord. Periya Perumal. Agre Kinchit. The other one is lying down on the serpent's bed. Bhujagasayanaha. Who is he and who is this person? Both are one and the same. Swatmanaivatmanaha sam. Then, where is he? Madhye Rangam. In Srirangam he is here in the temple. No. Mama Cha Hirdaye, in my heart too. 2 places. One is Srirangam and my heart is Srirangam. Vartate Savarodha. Savarodha. Avarodha is harem. H-E-R-E-M. Zinana in English. Z-E-N-A-N-E. The harem is called Antapuram, as you understand in Tamil and Sanskrit. Antapuram. The ladies' place of royal family. So we don't have Antapuram in our house. So here, then Valokayan. So last word, Asita iti kantoktehe. How should you recite this? Not murmur the Gadyatrayam. Not say it in your heart, but say it aloud so that neighbor is disturbed. The neighboring houses must be, the whole colony must be reverberate with your Gadyam. Louder, louder. Even take a loudspeaker. Take a mic, public address system. Kantoktehi. So that your throat will be torn apart. கழுத்து தொண்டை கிழியிற மாதிரி கத்து அப்படிங்கிற கண்டோக்தி. When yogartha kalpite ka. Previously we were seeing that yoga must be done in silence. Yoga must be done in silence. But this yogartha kalpite kali, when the time prescribed for yogartha, for the sake of yoga, kalpite kale, when you have planned our time, then visheshataha anusandheyamiti bhashyakara ashayaha pratiyate. It is his wish. It is Ramanujacharya's wish that we must say it aloud. We must shout the Gadyam. Are we allowed? Are we following Lord Ramanujacharya? He is the incarnation of Adishesha. He can do it with 1,000 mouths, but not me. So, Anusandheyam, it should be followed with the meaning, Bhashyakara Ashayaha Prati. The hope, Ashayaha, hope, wishes, Pratiyate, it appears. Vedanta Rishika says it appears that Bhashyakara Sri Ramanujacharya had a wish, had an ambition that all the devotees will shout the Gadyatrain. When we want to get rain, a very big group of people, when we wanted to get rain, and when a big group of people started reciting the fourth Tirupavai Pashuram, Ayumalaikanna, on the road, they came around the temple 3 or 4 times. Uttaravedi, Ul Tiruvedi, and Chitra Vidhi, and all the roads, they started saying repeatedly, Ayumalaikanna, 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 the fourth Tirupavai Pashuram. All said aloud. Of course, there was a little rain also, as a what we call as a symbol. Today is very hot day, very hot day. Nacha bhakti yogakyam ratnam. So let us consider it as a jewel. Let us consider it as jewel of devotion. All the 3 prose works should be considered as a jewel, costly jewel, priceless jewel, and so on. So we must possess the jewel. We must own the jewel. We must develop our devotion. We will begin this sentence, Prarambhat, by the beginning like Bhakti Yogakyam Ratnam, because we read the intention of Sri Ramanujacharya of the spreading the idea of the preceptor, namely Yamunacharya, Sri Yamunacharya. So we go to the next paragraph, to next session, Prapannanamapi Yoga Anushtana. So what is the difference between ordinary people and surrenderies? We are going to see it here. Are we completely surrenderies, or are we ordinary devotees? Are we simple devotees? Are we very deep in devotion? How much are we deep in devotion? We have to test ourselves. And tomorrow we have a program called Advaita Sabha, conducted by Advaitins in a home. And Keshoda Swami knows the home address also. Namely, when where Dr. Lakshmi Kumaran resided, there is one Vedanathan in the what you call Achara Parampara and Acharya Parampara. He conducts every year 3 days of the Shankara Bhashya session. But I am attending it so that Shankara Bhashya should be understood before understanding Sri Bhashya. We must understand the opponent before fighting with him. There is a Tamil Tirukural also. You must know your strength. You must assess the enemy's strength and then only start fighting. You cannot suddenly jump on the enemy and try to find. Just like Angada went to Ravana and cut off his nose. Angada went to Ravana's palace, jumped to the palace of Ravana, bite his nose and came back. Rama was very much worried. Rama was very much worried. What would happen? What would have happened if Ravana caught you? You will be what you call chutney. You will be ground to paste. You should have been ground to paste by Ravana. It's a small monkey called Angada. Though Angada is a heroic monkey after Vali, chip of the old block. So Angada suddenly jumped off. So we are not able to, we must not do that. So we must understand what is the difference between the surrendery and the ordinary devotee. Bhaktaha. Bhaktaha prapanna. We are going to see the next session.
ராமானுஜதயாபாத்ரம் ஞான வைராகியபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யோ வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம் கவிதார்க்கிகசிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினி ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேசாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமக. வாரித்விவதிரோபங்க பஞ்சானபராக்ரமா ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கட நாதாரி இரும் ஏராபுவே நீரொன்றதோ பொழுதுவேங்கிடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழிகள் ஓரொன்று தானே மையாதோ தரணியில் வாழ்வார்குவானே ஓமளோ வாழ்வு.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம்.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய.